Hey, good morning, my friends. It's Hammer. Today is Thursday, February 27th, 2025. I, of course, am here with the Daily Mortgage Rate Update coming to you from the beach this morning. Gonna hopping on an airplane heading home. Figured our last day here together, we would come out to the beach. My wife was very, very excited to come straight out here to the beach this morning. So take a look. If you ever get a chance to stay at the Four Seasons Punta Mita, it's not a bad gig. Take a look at that. So I know some of you in California and you have the specific ocean view pretty regularly, but for those of us that aren't from there, this is nice, good stuff. So anyway, my friends, good morning. Great to have you here. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you're live, say good morning. If you're watching the hashtag replay in the comments, let me know that you were here. Let Facebook or YouTube know that you were here. It helps with the algorithm, helps me to get a little bit more traction sharing this with other people. Don't forget, smash that like button, tag an hello friend, share this post in a group. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. It's a big deal to subscribe. I don't know why, but it makes a big difference. And then give it a thumbs up on the video. Remember, if you would like a reminder, a text reminder that I'm going live each morning, I do send out text reminders. You can sign up for those at hmmr.io/reminder or use this cool QR code over here. And, right there by the cabana. You could use that QR code and you could go ahead and get a text reminder that I am going live each morning. If you're here this morning, say good morning. Let's say hi to all of my friends, all the live folks here. So many of you that join me each and every day. Appreciate you. Good morning, Amy Blauser. Mr. Ron Siegel said today is National Radio Day. I know a guy that's got a show on the radio. And it's also National Big Breakfast Day. I think I'll be skipping that one. Not in the mood for a big breakfast today. But Mr. Ron Siegel is a radio guy. For those of y'all that don't know, he's got a daily radio show, and that's awesome. So anyway, good morning, Mallory Fotiadis. Great to have you here. Brandy Brickler, great to see you. Kyle Mazikas, great to have you here. Glenn Boussard, great to see you. Michael Love, good morning. Rob Stewart, good to see you. Who else we got here? We've got, hold on, I'm cutting through here. We got Christy Resort, good morning, and Deb Dickinson, Yasmin Martin, good morning, Yasmin. Cabana Boy, yep, that would be me, my friend. Good morning, Jay Rodriguez. Great to have you here. Candido Diaz, good morning as well. So, all right, my friends, if anyone else joins in, hello and good morning. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let me share my screen. I'll tell you what we got going on this morning. And taking a look here, let's start off with the technicals. Mortgage-backed securities are down about 13 basis points on the day. I want to kind of point out a couple of things to you. Number one, if we take a look where the big mouse is, we're looking at these candlesticks over here, right? And if we take a look over there, let me just, hold on, let me just make this so that, all right. So if we look at these Japanese candlesticks, you could see that we have gone up, 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 up. And then it looks like with this morning, we may have crested. And remember, we talked about that 101.50 mark being that line in the sand. It's where we hit back in December. And then we fell back below after hitting 150. We were, of course, above that 101.50 mark back in September when things were really good. But for right now, let's zoom in on them. Do that on my mouse thing here. Hold on a minute. I think I have to. Come on. I did it yesterday. All right, let me do it this way. All right, there you go. So there it is. All right, hold on. I want to get rid of that arrow. Bloop. So if you take a look here, you can see that we've gone up, 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 and then today it comes down. Now, we want to watch this carefully. Right now, we are down 15 basis points. It looked like yesterday might be that day that it had crested, but we went from negative to positive. If we take a quick recap yesterday, let's do this as a 2-day so you can see that first, right? So come on, 2-day, change. There we go. Okay. So if we take a look here yesterday, we started lower around 101.40 when pricing was coming out, and then things improved through the day. There were a handful of reprices better. I'm curious, how many of you did see a reprice better? If you don't mind, I'm going to click this in for a minute. If you mind, go ahead and let me know if you got a reprice better in the comments. A handful, not many, mainly on the wholesale side, on the broker side. So, all right, back to the bit. Take a look here. We had improved, but this morning we gave those gains back. Look at overnight trading. And then we've seen some volatility with trading this morning. This morning we got some different economic data. I'm going to use Mortgage News Daily and Matt Graham to just give us an overview on what that actually, on what that looked like. This is not cooperating today. There we go. Just to kind of go through it, because he'll summarize it real quick and keep me on track here. So he said it was a mixed reaction. So we got GDP data. 2.3 was forecast. 2.3 is what came in at. The GDP, remember, gets done 3 times per quarter. We've got the initial reading, the revised reading, and the final reading. This is a revised reading. Now, when we go a little bit deeper in the GDP data, they have quarterly PCE versus the monthly PCE. And this was revised up 0.2. So markets will react to that a little bit. This is not necessarily a precursor to what will happen with tomorrow's PCE data, but it is something to be aware of. Jobless claims this morning came in a little bit higher, 242,000 versus 221 that was forecast, and last week's was 220. Now, that's not a huge increase, probably reflects some people losing their jobs in the government sector, but it is signs of economic weakness, labor market weakness, because unemployment claims are going up, more people unemployed. Durable goods came in much, much higher and hotter than expected, though. 3.1 versus 2.0 forecast. Last month, it was minus 1.8. So that's a big difference. Shows you how all this reporting is. Remember, durable goods are items like washers and dryers, things that last 3 years or more, I believe. So when we take a look at see, okay, what effect did that really have on? Come over here and look at the daily chart. And you can see that when that data came out, we just saw some volatility, kind of went up and then it came back down. Now, the fact that we are down about 13 basis points, we want to go ahead, start the day cautiously floating for the moment. And let's see where things go. Let me put that up on the chat. Julie said she got a lot of reprices as a broker. Amy saw reprices on the broker side. Good morning, Allison Foy. Julie Lawrence, thank you for joining. Sean Segaloff said he'll trade his Florida Beach for your mountain view a few times a year. Yeah, I get you. Diana and Heidi, Amber, great to have you out here as well. So anyway, back on track here. The expectation with the economic data was kind of mixed, right? Now tomorrow we go into the PCE inflation data. I know it's a little bit conservative. I'm going to say let's start the day cautiously floating. But if we don't see bonds improve today, I would lock anything closing in the next 15 days because I don't expect tomorrow's PCE data to be enough to help us see improvement. And, I've been saying for what feels like forever, been running around like, sky falling. I feel like this rally could be getting close to an end, right? I feel like it could be fatigued. And I guess that's the reality. That's what happened. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm sharing my screen again. Let's see if are you sharing this? It says sharing my screen, but it's not showing my screen. Come on. There it goes. Okay. So coming back, we want to see this, right? If we improve on the day, then we can continue to flow and see what the PCE data shows us. But if we stay negative or go more negative, I would consider locking into closing near term. Now, if it's closing in a few, weeks and after April, I wouldn't worry about that. We also want to keep an eye on the 10-year Treasury yield. Right now, it's at 4.30, and you're seeing that same behavior. It's gone down, and now it's dipping back up, right? Yesterday, it closed at 4.26. So we want to see if it's going to move back down towards that or if it's going to move up from there. Do you want a towel? Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Getting the wife a towel. There you go. Okay, so back onto this stuff. A couple of things to be aware of. The overall sentiment, we're watching that closely because that's what's really keeping bonds going up right now. It's been pushing stocks back down, putting money into havens. So the idea is concern over what's going on with the tariffs and what's going on with all the other stuff. So I had a great article this morning, and then I don't know where it ended up flying out of here. It was in here, but now I can't find it. There was a nice one that talked about exactly what was going on with bonds. The search on Bloomberg sucks, but let's try this for a minute. Bonds. Let's see what comes up in the search real quick and see in the most recent that I've read here. Let's see. Last 24 hours. No. Ooh, Amazon finally got control of James Bond. That was from February 20th. No. All right, so forget all that. We're just gonna skip it because it sucks as usual. Their search feature is terrible. And then going back here, we want to be looking at kind of where we're at on everything. If the sentiment starts to shift a little bit, uh, then we'll see some pullback. But overall, it really markets are concerned. They think that we're going into a weakening economy and that we're going into. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. They think we're going into a weakening economy. Look at that sun. And that we will be seeing a weakening labor market. And with all of that, that's going to push things a little bit. It'll help bonds improve and from here. So the expectation for Fed rate cuts back up to 2 cuts this year. We'll see. We'll see what all this brings. Remember, it's always that ebb and flow. This is all cyclical. Here's one of those windows, though, where you're going to see where mortgage rates are improving. And it's a good time to try to get a couple of loans locked before we see it shift back up. And there's a good chance we'll see rates creep back higher. If we see any kind of, optimism over the economy, or depending on what happens with the tariffs, concerns over inflation, they're expecting 2 Fed rate cuts. But if inflation starts, really working its way higher, the Fed's not going to cut rates, not unless the labor market really weakens. Remember that. Everything is just very much, formulaic. The Fed will not cut rates unless you have high inflation improving, right? And the labor market is weakening. Otherwise, they're at a neutral rate. So keep that in mind. Anyone have any comments or questions that y'all want to talk about? Let me know in the chat. We'll go over those real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up for today and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But again, one more time, just to reiterate in case anyone joined late, today is one of those days we really want to watch the bond market, because I think we could be seeing what I've been waiting for, which is that. But look at this. Now we're only down 2 basis points. Actually, this could be a rogue trade, but look at that. It's like a straight line up. So we want to see right here. See this? Hold on. Let me give you something. So, okay. All right. So right here. See this right here? Watch where the mouse is. It's jiggling. There we go. Okay. So right there, we want to see if it continues to drop down, if we see things stay low today. If we end -10, -15 basis points, I would go ahead and take some money, lock in some gains. We've seen some really nice rate sheets. When you look at where things are at right now, 6 3/4, we've seen rates drop down by 1/4 to 3/8 of a point on average from some of these higher levels, and it hasn't been a big move. It's just been like slow, steady. Especially the last week, we've seen things really move. 219 to 226. That's 7 days right there. And that's really where we've seen the biggest moves. I mean, we were at 7, and we've picked up a 1/4 point this week. Again, last week I was in a locking stance for near term because it looked like we were going to bounce off of some of these technicals. We were hitting the green 100-day moving average, the purple 200-day moving average, but we blew through those. Now we're watching 101.50, and we are again right here 101.49. And if we can't break above and take to a new level, 101.50 is a resistance level in my mind. And if we don't see a break, it's going to be a big deal, and we're going to go from there. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you again for joining me. Appreciate all of you. And Ron said we can't expect a straight line in any direction. Nope, never is. All right, I'll see y'all later. Have a fantastic one. One last time, you can take the view, and then tomorrow it'll be back to my mountains. So, all right, bye-bye.